Hello. It is me, Haiga, back with a video, and this is not going to be a long one. I just want to make a quick video because I have been getting the comment on YouTube and on Twitch, people asking me about skill setup and tripods for my destroyer. First, I would like to apologize if I am short of breath or if I'm breathing heavy. Asthma is acting up a little bit. Just use my pump, so hopefully it calms down over the course of the video, but if you hear it, please just try to ignore it. But today we are going to be talking about my destroyer. Now, mainly GT, because a lot of people play Ragehammer and I play Gravity Training. I've played both. This is not a debate video or anything like that. I'm just here to share my skill tripods for my Gravity Training destroyer and talk about some of the skills that I've used as blue skills and purple skills and whatnot, and go from there, right? So right now, the build I use is I have Heavy Crush, Dreadnought, Power Strike for synergy, Indoor Pain obviously, and then for purple skills I'm rocking Full Swing, Perfect Swing, Seismic Hammer, and Earthwave. Now for the tripods specifically, on Earthwave I am using a Gravity Charge tripod. For the longest I was using a Gravity Charge on Full Swing because that is what I thought it gives you the most leeway no matter how high your spec is, so that you can get your meter filled up in one rotation. Because with since it's on the second line, it's a higher value. As you see, it's a 15% per one core, and for Earthwave it's only 13% per one core. So as you go up in spec, you don't need as much additional meter on the tripods because your spec will help compensate for your meter gain. So as you can see, let's try and just summon a boss real quick, and I will do this, and we'll just completely leave everything empty. So I will use one purple skill, two purple skills, three purple skills, and then on my fourth purple skill it fills up my meter. So you can use your meter gain, the Gravity Charge tripods. Which one you use depends on how much spec you have. So I have 1735, and I will show you guys, let me pull it up real fast, how you can tell which one you should use. Because if you have less spec, or if the tripod isn't as high leveled up, that can also determine whether you need two Gravity Charge tripods, one Gravity Charge tripod, or which one you need. So this is the Destroyer community guide. I will leave a link to this in the description so you can reference it for your own stuff. On the left, you can go down to Gravity Training, and it tells you about spec breakpoints. There should be, yeah, specialization breakpoints, and it tells you what is the minimum Gravity Charge tripod you need in order to get your rotation, have one rotation give you your full meter. So this is the one that I was using before on Full Swing, right? That's the 15% per one core, and that's at minimum 1690 spec. So for me, I have 1735, so I am somewhere in here. So I can use either Earthwave level 5 Gravity Charge, or Earth Eater, or Full Swing level 4. Since the tripod is level 5, I opt to use Earthwave. If you want to use Earth Eater, it is a much slower skill, gives you more stagger though. You can do that as well, but these are all the options. Obviously this means either one of these. It doesn't mean Earthwave, Earth Eater, and Full Swing. This is just one of them, right? So if you have 1774 spec with Earthwave level 2, or Earth Eater level 2, or Full Swing level 1 on the Gravity Charge tripods, you can get your entire meter filled up in one rotation. So I highly recommend checking out the community guide, because there's lots of really helpful information. It tells you the damage distributions and all that stuff, builds, and all of that good stuff. These are my engravings as well. I use Ragehammer 1 because there aren't as many good level 1 engravings, and Ragehammer just gives you a lot of value because it makes your purple skills have 9% crit rate and 15% more crit damage, because it is 3% crit rate and 5% crit damage per core, right? And you usually use them when you have 3 cores. So that is that. So just going over like a little bit of the basics of how my character is. If you would like more information, let me know and I can try and grab it for you. But here is for Seismic Hammer, I'm using 331. For Power Strike, I use 3-1. This is my synergy skill. It is also a counter. Endure Pain, I'm using 3-3-1. If you are fighting a boss that cannot be taunted, like Kakul Seidon or Belshazzar Gates 4, 5, 6, then you can use the anti-gravity. So that makes it so when you taunt or when you use Endure Pain, obviously you'll still get your cores, but it also gives you a really fat shield, which is nice because it gives you push immunity for 10 seconds. So now you also get a shield for a vast majority of that time, which can just help you be a bit more tanky when you're eating a lot of hits in combat. For Perfect Swing, I use 1-2-1. I have seen some people use 1-2-2, which could be done for more damage. If you crit, it does hit extremely hard. However, because of how long it takes to charge up, it's kind of a hindrance, and you can't really use Perfect Swing as consistently as a utility skill because of it. So if you're to use Perfect Swing for things like a quick stagger or weak point, right, because Perfect Swing has such a fast animation, you can use it for weak point, stagger, anything like that in tons of raids and bosses, which gives you that nice utility. And at the end of the day, your damage is in your gravity, your hyper gravity. It's not in your purple skills, right? For Earth Wave, I use 1-2-2. I'm using Dreadnought, which is 1-1-2. I really like Dreadnought. I was using a different blue skill before. I've tried a few, but the thing I like about Dreadnought is, one, it's a counter. So all 1, 2, 3, all 3 of those hits count as a counter. So if any of those hit the boss, it will counter. You also get Tenacity on the first tripod, and the skill itself has paralysis immunity, so you get paralysis immunity and push immunity, as well as a toughened body tripod, which makes you take less damage while using it. So it's really good for tanking stuff. It has weak point level 2, and it has good stagger. So it's a really good skill to use. It's a little slow for some people, but I like it. I use a protection rune on it because you can use it to tank a lot of stuff. For Full Swing, I'm using 3-3-1, and for Heavy Crush, I'm using 1-3-2. Now, the middle tripod for Heavy Crush doesn't really matter. You could use whatever you want. I don't really think it makes a difference. The first one is static, though, and the last one I really like because this makes it so when you use your Heavy Crush, it has this pulsing effect on the floor, and when the effect is on the floor, let's say the boss jumps up, like Hanamatan jumps up, and you use it on the floor, and then he lands on the pulsing area. If the pulsing area hits him, it'll still give you your 1 core. The initial hit doesn't have to hit as long as one of the pulses hits. So yeah, that's why I really like that. You can use it to delay certain things, especially because Power Strike is like a pretty low skill, a pretty slow skill, excuse me. So like, let's say Hanamatan is coming down, or like in Kakul Seidon Gate 2, you know, when he does the little and he flies across the middle and he ends up on the side, you can pre-place this down and then use this, and your Power Strike will give you your 2 cores while the pulsing will give you the 1, and then you already got your 3 cores. So you could use it for stuff like that. As far as other blue skills that you could use, I've seen people use Gravitational Energy. I used to use it once upon a time. I don't anymore. The cool thing about Gravitational Energy is I believe you use this, and this. The cool thing about Gravitational Energy is it is a chain skill, and you have time to use it again, and both hits give you 2 cores. So let's say in this instance, right, I have 1 core. I could do something like this, and I used the skill and then got the 2 cores right back, which allows me to then rotate into my skills more freely. So if you like that idea, you can definitely use that. However, this doesn't have a synergy applied. So if you use this, you want to use it with something like Power Strike that can apply your synergy, or Dreadnought if you're putting the synergy tripod on it, or like Jumping Smash, I know is what Rage Hammer people use for the synergy as well. Another one that I've been using recently that I just recently stopped using just for the lack of utility is Power Shoulder, which you use Toughened Body, Express Fury, and Objective Complete. And this one is a very fast skill, which is why a lot of people like it, or some people like it. And it's also a gap closer, right? So it's a huge mobility skill, and that initial hit gives you the 2 cores. The one place I definitely always use it is Prokel, because this little swing at the end, that little spin at the end, is a stun. So you can use it to stun Prokel, or if there's a boss that needs to be stunned or anything like that, you can use it for that. But I just didn't like using it on things like Hanamatan because I felt like when it came to weak point checks, I wasn't ready a lot, right? Like sometimes you use your purple skill and that's not enough, so you want to use a blue skill, but I didn't have any weak point skills. I didn't have any blue weak point skills, which is why I liked using Dreadnought instead. And then Dreadnought also gives you the tenacity and the additional counter, right? Because this thing is not a counter, as cool as that would be. But it is very good for mobility on a very slow class. So those are some of the blue skills that I have tried. I have not used, I only used Jumping Smash and Rage Hammer super long ago. And Running Crash I only use for my stagger build because it applies the target focus tripod. That is the only time I use it. And I haven't used anything else. But hopefully that answers the question. Someone had commented on my video what my skill tripod setup was. So there you go. If you have any further questions, please let me know down in the comments below. Until next time, it's been your boy Haiga. Have a good day.